Hi Cancer, welcome to March. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start the reading, I want to call in some good energy. So this month, we have a full moon in Virgo, which is favorable to your sign, on March 9th. And then Mercury goes direct after having been retrograde for the past 3 weeks. And it's going direct in Aquarius. Then on the 20th, we have the spring equinox, where the sun moves into Aries, and Saturn also is going to be moving into Aquarius. And then we have the new moon in Aries, which is happening on the 24th of March. So there's a lot going on this month. We'll get into the astrology later. But for now, let's see what's going on with Cancer and love. What's coming up in March for Cancer in terms of love and relationships? What does Cancer need to know about love and relationships for the month of March? And for those of you celebrating happy St. Patrick's Day on the 17th. So let's see. What does Cancer need to know about love and relationships? You have a lot of Capricorn energy going through your 7th house. A lot of planets in Capricorn. So this should be, well, we'll look at that later. Let's see what the cards say. What does Cancer need to know about love and relationships this month, March, this coming month? The Two of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Lovers, the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Strength card, the Queen of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Temperance, and the Seven of Wands. Okay, so you start the month out with the Two of Swords. You're on the fence trying to make a decision about a relationship. You might be trying to decide between two options because you have two aces here. So there's a potential for new beginnings, new partnerships. And that could be business and personal, and or. Because you have the Ace of Wands. I always think of the Ace of Wands as more of a career-related activity, and the Ace of Cups as more of a love relationship. Because the Ace of Cups is about cups are about emotion, love, creativity, and the Wands are more about taking action, being inspired. And with this Two of Swords here, you're on the fence about something. It's like you're not taking action. So there could be someone that you are wanting to move toward, but you're not deciding. It's like you're waiting for the other person to make a move. So both people, but I feel like there's a stalemate with the Two of Swords. So both people are not acting because one person's saying, well, you're thinking, well, let them reach out to me. And they're thinking, well, why don't you reach out to me? And so nobody's reaching out to anybody. And you're on this fence of not deciding, not taking action. Maybe you're even overthinking things. Instead of going where your heart wants you to go, you're kind of overthinking. Like, well, I don't know, is this the right thing to do? Should I take action? Should I not take action? I don't know. But you have this Ace of Wands. So opportunity is knocking in March. This is a card of new beginnings. You're going to have an opportunity to have a new beginning in March, to take action. This is a card of spring and enthusiasm, feeling activated, feeling like you're ready to take action. So this may break the stalemate, but I feel like with the Two of Swords, there's always this sense of you're afraid to be vulnerable. So you might be afraid of rejection. You're afraid to, let your guard down and let someone know how you feel. But that's going to break the stalemate. So somebody's got to break the ice. If the other person's not breaking the ice, then it's up to you to break the ice and to have the courage to move, go forward and take action. You have the Lovers in the past. So you've had this, there's a person that you could really connect with on a very deep level. The Lovers is a card of attraction, but it's more like a soulmate connection. It's the higher arcana. It's kind of like the higher card of the Two of Cups, which the Two of Cups is a love relationship, a strong affinity with someone where you're both on the same page. But when it falls in the major arcana, it's even stronger. It's even more significant. This relationship can change your life in some way. And you might even be, and this is also a card about choosing two paths. So some of you might be deciding, do I take action toward this person or not? Do I wait for them to come to me? Or, I don't know, you're just trying to make a decision. Some of you may be trying to decide between two people. Do I leave this partner and go to this new person that I'm really drawn to? Either way, with the Lovers, you have a serious decision to make, because once you make the choice, there's a sense of finality about it. Like, you can't go back to whatever you leave behind is going to be left behind. I mean, you can't, especially if you're in a relationship with someone and you decide to leave that relationship for someone new. If the new thing doesn't work out, you're not going to be able to go back to the old. So you have to really think about, is this what I really want? Give it a lot of thought. But opportunity is there. So if you're unhappy in a relationship and you're thinking about moving on to a new one, there's going to be opportunity for you to do that. And even if you're not in a relationship, there's going to be an opportunity for a new beginning with someone. And it could even be someone, this could be an earth sign. You have the King of Pentacles here. But it could also mean that you're looking for something stable. You're looking for someone who is down to earth, someone who is stable, someone that you could just be with without any drama. Because the King of Pentacles represents someone who cares about family and home. Material things make them feel secure. They care about being secure financially. So whoever you're connecting with, they're good work. They're hard workers. They may not be the most exciting person. Like, they're not this, but they're stable and they're going to be there for you. So you want to really give it a lot of thought, because you could be deciding between an earth sign and maybe even a water sign, because the Queen of Cups is here. So there could be someone you're choosing. If you're choosing between two people, I feel like one of them might be very very stable, very organized, very reliable. The other person could be very caring and compassionate and intuitive. And so anyway, you really have to use your intuition to think about, who's the right person for me? Who is it who's the relation, which relationship really speaks to my soul? Which is the one that's going to bring me the most fulfillment? Because I feel like you're going to be choosing, so a lot of you might be choosing between two people. Or if it's just one person, what's stopping you might be a fear of being vulnerable, fear of expressing your interest, or fear of rejection. You have the Ace of Cups coming up. So this is something that's starting to develop. It could start now in March, April. But it's going to really take off in the summer, because the Ace of Cups is June, July, August, that time frame. So I feel like June, July, especially around the time of the eclipses, things might really change, where you have to make a decision. You have the Strength card here. You could be dealing with someone that has anger issues, or someone who is very emotional, goes to extremes of emotion. Maybe that's even something within you that you have to learn how to control. You're like a tendency to overreact or to be reactive. If you tend to fly off the handle, you might need some counseling. Because this is sometimes the Strength card comes up when, it could even be if you're in a relationship and you're trying to decide, do I stay or do I go? Maybe all that's needed is some counseling to help you work out some difficulties within the relationship. And you could have a new start with this Ace of Cups. So if you're in an existing relationship and you're not connecting, or there's problems in the relationship, it could be because you're not letting the true you shine. You're not being vulnerable enough. You're not letting the person know how you feel. They're not seeing the softer side of you. They're only seeing the angry side of you. And that could cause problems in a relationship. So if you have any frustrations or any wounds around expressing your needs or expressing your anger, so because sometimes with the Strength card, you can only get your needs met when you're angry. You don't know how to say, I need this, I want this, this is what you have to make a fight around it. It's the only way you can get it out. So that's not a healthy way of expressing. So this is a card that says you can have a new way of loving and a new way of expressing, like learning how to have a healthy outcome when it comes to self-expression and getting your needs met. Not overreacting, being kinder, softer, more vulnerable. And again, with this Queen of Cups, this is in your negative thinking sector. So if there's someone that you're interested in who is represented by this energy of compassion, softness, intuition, someone who's very talented, maybe very artistic, creative. Maybe you're thinking like, oh, this person would never want me. I'm not going to even try. Like you're doubting that they would. I feel like you have this fear of rejection. So you're not going to take a chance. You don't want to go out on a limb. You want the other person to reach out. Well, here's the Page of Cups. So someone is going to be reaching out to you. This is a message of love. This is a message, someone wanting to show that they care. And so you might get a message in March from someone that can change the playing field a little bit. Someone who's going to show you interest or take. If you don't go out on a limb, then maybe that's the person that's interested in you. And if you're interested in someone and you're waiting for them to take action, you may get a message from them in March that's going to give you a little bit more encouragement, and then maybe you'll feel like, okay, I can move toward this because I know that this person cares. I don't have to guess about it. You have the Temperance card here. This is a card in your wish fulfillment sector where it's two people who are very different, but they blend well together. Their energies work well together. But it's also a card of learning how to compromise and meet the other person halfway. So if you've been sitting on the fence waiting, like, okay, this other person has to come to me, maybe you need to, take a few steps forward, and they can take a few steps forward. Like you both have to kind of come out of your comfort zones to meet each other in the middle. You can't always have it all your way. The Seven of Wands as an outcome card, this represents overcoming any obstacles that's standing in the way of love. So if you're in a relationship that's having some difficulty, you can overcome them. So for some of you, you might be overcoming difficulties. You might have a chance for a new start, maybe through some counseling. If there's competition between you and someone else and you're worried about the competition, you have the upper hand with the Seven of Wands. This is also a card of standing up for what you believe in, standing your ground, setting boundaries. So you want to make sure that you're getting your needs met in March and that you are not letting someone take advantage of your kindness. Because sometimes Cancer is very sweet and loving and nurturing. And sometimes Cancer doesn't fight for what they deserve. They just give in for the sake of peace. So, because you're not a fighter. You're a lover, not a fighter. You need to stand up for what you want and go after what you want. Don't be afraid. You have the upper hand. Don't be afraid to take action toward someone that you're interested in if you're not in a relationship and you have your eye on someone. Even if you're in a relationship, I feel like you could overcome the problems. But it's going to involve a choice, a significant choice. So for some of you, it could be a choice. Do I stay or do I go? Do I stay and work on the problems? Do we go to counseling and so that we can stay together and work out our differences? Do I compromise? Can I save this relationship? Or do I just move on to someone new? And for others, it could be that if you're not in a relationship, but you are interested in someone, you have not been taking action. You have not been making moves toward that relationship. You need to take some action. You need to drop your guard and show lay your cards on the table. Say, look, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is how I feel. Because otherwise the relationship's going to be stuck with this Two of Swords. This is a card of just being stuck, unable to make a move, sitting on the fence, overthinking. Just take the plunge. The Ace of Wands is, take action. The Ace of Cups is go with the flow. Don't overthink it. Just let things happen naturally. And don't be afraid to communicate your love. And you might even get some message back that someone is also very interested. So take a risk this month, Cancer. Don't be too timid. That's because opportunity is knocking. And your options are good ones. It's just that you have to decide which person is going to be the best match for you. So let's see what's going on with the astrology. So you have a full moon in your 3rd house, sun in your 9th house. So you might have been really tied up with family matters, like relatives, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, neighbors. Maybe you've been doing a lot of work helping them out. Sometimes the 3rd and 9th house has to do with communication. If you've been working with some kind of contract, trying to get some things off the ground, signing contracts, something to do with higher education or long distance travel, or even the internet, marketing. You might have been tied up with that. That's coming to completion. You're coming to the end of that cycle. The full moon can also bring things to the surface, bring things to light. So if anything, if you're about to sign a contract and you have some issues that you weren't aware of, that could come up now. It's a time for looking in the details, because Virgo is about details. Don't miss, it's about checking everything before you sign. Making sure that whatever you're getting involved in is something that you want to be involved in. So if you're signing any contract, or if you have plans for any type of communications project, you want to proofread it carefully, you want to get someone else to look at it, make sure that you're understanding everything, that you're communicating clearly. Don't leave anything to chance at this time, but it's coming to completion. You have Mars, which is favorable to this moon, and it's trining the moon, and it's trining the Mars is trining the moon and sextile the sun from your 7th house. And the sun, especially since the sun is conjuncting the sun is close to Neptune at this full moon. So especially if you're signing any contracts, you want to make sure that the other person is presenting things is not glamorizing things. You want to make sure that you're connecting with someone who's being honest. Now, it could also mean that you're connecting with someone in some type of creative capacity, but you could be idealizing that person, because Neptune and the sun, it can work two ways. When Neptune and the sun come together, it could mean that you're connecting with someone who's very romantic, and you think, oh, this person's just my dream lover, or this is my dream situation, my dream job. But there might be things that you're not aware of. Maybe they have some kind of addiction problem, or maybe they have some kind of mental issue, or maybe they're just presenting things like you're reading things in you're not seeing things clearly. So you want to make sure, especially since this is in your communication sector, you want to make sure that you're hearing the other person properly, that you're communicating, that you're understanding the vision. If someone's telling you this is the way it's going to be, ask questions, make sure you know what you're getting into. But Mars is giving you the energy. Mars is activating your 7th house of partnerships. So it's telling you, go after this dream. If there's something you want, you have to take action. Go after it. It could be, with Neptune, you never know. It could be the soulmate of a lifetime. It could be a creative project, that like the dream situation where you're going to be using your creativity. It could be something that involves spirituality that you're getting involved in, or a person who's very spiritual. Sometimes the sun conjunct Neptune, you could be connecting with someone who is very spiritual, who opens you up to a different way of thinking and different way of believing. Very intuitive. You also have, because you have Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn going through your 7th house. You've been learning lessons with Saturn in the 7th house about relationships, Things may have been heavy and difficult. You've been struggling. You're seeing the reality of your relationships. What's real in my partnerships? Where do I have to step up to the plate and take responsibility? And what do I need to either commit to or let go of? Pluto is transforming your relationships, so you could attract people that are very powerful, very mysterious. Plutonian energy they have a powerful effect on you, and they could transform your life in a good way. And especially Jupiter is coming together with Pluto. So that brings abundance and luck in terms of partnerships. You could be forming relationships with people, and this could be business or personal, that bring wealth into your life, that bring opportunity to your life. So a relationship, if you're connecting with someone, this person could be financially secure and bring more financial abundance into your life. Or it could also bring opportunity to travel or to explore different cultures. And there could even be an age difference with Saturn there, where one person is more mature than the other person. One person could be more like the parent to the other person. There could be an age difference, or there could just be an emotional maturity difference, where one person's a little bit immature and the other person's more like the father figure or the mother figure. Venus is in your 11th house, and it's going to be connecting with Uranus, and that's the house of friendship, hopes, and dreams. So something unexpected could come up out of the blue that brings love. A friendship could turn into love unexpectedly. Feelings could just develop. You have Jupiter. Jupiter is... Wait a minute, what am I doing here? Mars... Yeah, Venus is sextile. While it's connecting with Uranus, it's trining the south node in Taurus. Venus in Taurus with Venus and Uranus. I can't even speak. It's Mercury retrograde. Venus and Uranus in Taurus is trining the south node in Capricorn and sextile the north node in Cancer. And this is activating your relationship sector. So I feel that there could be an opportunity coming in March for you to connect with someone unexpectedly, out of the blue, suddenly, that can really bring a more nurturing partnership to your life. It'll, like, whatever happens, it's going to make you more aware of, I need to take care of me. I've been working too hard, and I need to have a relationship that I can fall back on for love and nurturing. You need to be like someone who feels like family. And this could come out of a group of friends that you belong to, or a group that you're working with. If you're working on a project that has to do with helping the world, making the world a better place. Because the 11th house is the house of the friendships, the groups you belong to, your hopes and dreams, your goals. So somewhere out of that sector, you have this Venus-Uranus connection. And Uranus, you can't predict. It comes up out of the blue. All of a sudden, here's this person standing in front of you, or here's this opportunity for a connection, for a romantic connection. So when you least expect it, you either hear from someone, or you're connecting with someone, or a friendship develops that can actually turn into love and bring more excitement to your life. And definitely affect your karmic path, because the nodes are in your 1st and 7th house. So it's going to affect your relationships, how you relate to the other. It's going to affect how you appear to the world. You may feel, it's just going to feel good. It's a good feeling when, because Cancer energy is about nurturing yourself, feeling loved, feeling supported, feeling like someone's there for you, has your back. So this could happen at this full moon, especially when Venus connects with Uranus. And Jupiter is also connecting with Pluto in your 7th house. So definitely, if you meet someone during this time, for those who are not with someone, if you're connecting with someone new, this person is going to be very financially secure, may possibly even wealthy. And it's going to transform your life in some way, in a positive way. And it's going to bring more excitement. And you're going to feel freer. It's going to be a good time, so don't worry. And Mercury's going to go direct in your 8th house. So if you're waiting for any news about financial matters or support, you might start to hear that. Things might start moving forward. Then we have a new moon in Aries on the 4th. And that is going to happen in your 10th house. So there could be some career opportunities too. That's why I'm seeing the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. I feel like there's going to be career opportunities and also love opportunities this month. The 10th house is your house of status. But it's also, it could mean a transition from like single to married or married to single, or if you haven't been dating, maybe now you're going to start dating. And this new moon is connected with Chiron, the wounded healer. So some connection that you're making in March, whatever new thing starts in March, it's going to have a healing effect on you. And I feel it's going to be connected with relationships. So some relationship is going to change the way you're seen in the world. You know, people, because the 10th house is your public life, your career. So there could be an opportunity for some type of career success through partnership. And again, Venus is supporting all of the planets in Pluto. Venus from the 11th house is supporting all the planets. By this new moon, Venus will be at 20 degrees Taurus. It will be trining Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars in your 7th house. So something has to happen this month. I don't. If some love connection doesn't happen in March, I will be surprised, because you've got all the aspects for it. And it could come at like a friendship. A friendship could turn to romance in March, unexpectedly. And you might even decide, because you have Mercury in the 9th house, sextile Uranus in the 11th, you might decide to travel. So maybe you're going to visit someone, or you're connecting with someone, you decide to go away together on a trip. Or you could meet someone through education or while you're traveling, because Mercury will be in the 9th house at that time. But you have support from Venus this month. And especially because it's in your 7th, Venus is aspecting favorably all the planets in your 7th house. And that's the house of permanent partnerships. So anyone you're connecting with at this time, it could lead to a permanent commitment or a permanent relationship. It's not going to be some fly-by-night romance. It's going to be something solid, stable, that brings love and opportunity your way. And Venus also is sextile Neptune. And where's Neptune? Let's see. In Cancer. Neptune's in Pisces. Let's see, where's Pisces in your chart? It's going to be in the 9th house. Yeah, it's going to be in your 9th house. So if you're connecting with someone, it could be a soulmate. It's whoever you're connecting with is going to change your views on spirituality. It could be someone from a different culture, someone who has different views about life, someone who's going to expand your consciousness in some way, and your belief system. Someone has a lot to teach and learn, someone who's very intuitive. It's going to be an exciting ride in March, Cancer. So I think things look good. You may feel more like taking action at the solstice when the sun goes into Aries, because it's also going to be, and Mars connects with Jupiter and Pluto. You might feel like, you know what, I've sat on the sidelines long enough, I need to go and take action. And it wouldn't be a mistake. So don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid to take action towards something that you're really interested in this month, because it can work out really well for you. I think you have, love is on the horizon. Love is on the agenda. And not just love, like romance, serious love. Like you can meet someone that you could really see yourself spending the rest of your life with. And someone who could really transform your life in a positive way and bring more joy and abundance your way. So that's my forecast, Cancer, for this month. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was a help to you. If you liked the video, if it resonated with you, click on the like button, leave a comment below. And if you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box, and it'll take you to my website, and we can have a personalized reading just based around your specific situation. And thank you everyone for supporting my